on the back of your machine, you will find these syrup pump boards. 6 pumps for 6 flavours. They are written on them: C for cola, L for lemonade, S for squash, G for ginger. Now, G has a circle through it because we use G as it's just a standard board we have made up, but we've put next to it your B, which is the bitters, which we're running instead of ginger. Down the bottom, we've got T for tonic and D for diet. The clear hose is your suction line. And we have a small 6mm clear line, which we discussed in the gas regulator section, which is your gas supply. So refer to the gas regulator section for that. So the only thing you've got to worry about on this is, as said, hooking in your gas supply to your gas regulator and your suction line for your syrup. There are 6 lines there. Each of them are marked. As you can see, the only one that's a little confusing, this one has bitters and ginger written on it, as ginger was what comes standard. So before we found out what flavours you were using, the boys marked them as ginger, and we've had now marked it as bitters, and it leads to bitters on the bitters button on the gun. So they are 4 meters long, just over the 3.8 allowed, but you can cut them back to size, and realistically that 20 centimeters isn't going to make a lot of difference anyway. Now, we've used a different tubing for this one. We've used a hard plastic tubing. We did a few tests and we found that when we use the clear tubing, one sec, I'll grab a sample. Here we go. This clear tubing is what we usually use for the suction line, but it is a bit flexible. Now, the problem with that is over such a distance, we found that it actually collapses in on itself under the suction pressure if there's nothing in the box. If there's nothing in the box, the pumps suck the box dry and they suck the line dry, and they can actually collapse the line. Now, not so big an issue, as once you put the new box on, it slowly comes back into shape, but it can restrict the line temporarily, and over time it could even get it out of shape. So we decided to go with a more rigid fixed tube which won't collapse on us. So all we do is run the line to where you want them, cut them to size, then you have the fittings. So all you do is place one of the fittings over the line, push the barb on the fitting across the line, then using the provided pincers, just put them either side, I'm not left-handed, either side of the fitting, and simply squeeze them shut to clamp the fittings into place. Now, we've given you a heap of the larger and a heap of the smaller ones just in case. You probably should not need anywhere near this, but it doesn't hurt to have spares. So with the syrup pumps, that's all you've got to do. Run the CO2 line, run the 6 syrup lines, cut them to size, and then clamp these off. What I'd recommend is getting yourself a black texter, and we have marked what each line is. Now, you're most probably going to cut that off when you cut them to size. I would write back on them what they are, do them one at a time, and possibly even hook them up to the syrup boxes as you go. If for some reason you lose track, you can always follow them back and see what's written on the pump to make it nice and easy. Worst case scenario, and you get them wrong, what's listed on there won't come out of the right gun port. And if that does happen, these caps, well, you can either just move the box to the right one, or these caps pop off and you can move the caps to the right flavour. So you've got 2 options there. But yeah, that's all there is to the syrup pump line.